it! Get a grip! This stupid video I just showed you! I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show! It's donkey! You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State, it's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. For one last time before a Notre Dame game this year. Yeah, that's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. Just another Monday. Anybody got any big plans? Anybody doing anything tonight? Anything going on of interest, of note, that has your schedule filled up or booked? This is it, everybody. This is it. This is the one. This is the one we've all been waiting for. Welcome in. Welcome back. Thanks for starting your day here. I know it's going to be a long, anxiety-filled day for everybody in Notre Dame Nation. Thank you for starting the day here. This one's special, you guys. I don't know what you're thinking or feeling. Today is the reason you all have been watching this show all this time. Today is the reason that I created this show. I always, in the back of my mind, through the rough times, I always thought, man, how fun would this be if we could all do this when Notre Dame was good and mattered and was moving the needle nationally and was playing for things that matter. And here we are. And so I'm really thankful to be able to start this special day with all you guys. It is only right. It is only justified. It is, there's nothing I'd rather do this morning than be with you guys. This is, it's just special. And whatever happens tonight, I am proud of this team. This team accomplished more than I thought they could. They fought through everything, all the injuries and everything to get here. And I'm proud of this team. And I know you guys are too. So I just thank you guys for all the support, riding and dying with me, all the good times, all the bad times, all of the summer shows where it's 90 degrees in the humidity and we're yelling at each other at 10 at night about, this or that and everything else. This is what it's all for. This is what it's all for, is this moment today. So it's Notre Dame, Ohio State, for all the marbles, for the national championship, and this is it. So let me get through the introduction. I have a couple things I want to say. We'll do a couple super chats, and then I'm going to, let's take a look at the phone lines here. And then we'll go to the phone lines. We're going to try and keep it, 5 minutes and under and see what people are thinking. Always Irish Senior, good to see you there. Andrew flew home from Florida. He was at the game in Miami. He flew home from Florida, wanted to be with us for better or worse tonight. We're going to be together. And obviously right after the game, we're going to be here. And I don't know whether it's going to be the best night of our Notre Dame lives or a funeral. I don't know which it's going to be, but we're going to be here and we're going to take it as it comes and do the best we can. As always, thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny Boy out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. Nobody blames you for that. How do you think I feels every day? Call-in lines. You know them. 312-988-15. You dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny all you've heard and seen. Patreon.com/Always Irish. It really makes me happy to know Goolsby's there with the Always Irish flag. Goolsby's there with his dad. Him and Jared Clark hitting the town last night. It warms my heart, man. I'm glad Mike's there. I'm glad he's there with his dad. I'm glad he's there with Jared Clark. They've been working their butts off on Patreon, breaking down the all 22. These guys, they deserve to have a couple nights out in Atlanta and be together. And a lot of the old teammates and everybody's there. And so I'm really glad for that. Okay, so couple things to start. And I'll make it quick. I want to make this about you guys. I mean, the only reason this show has grown, the only reason it's a thing, the only reason it's because of you guys. So all I do is hook up the line and let your Irish pride take over. And it's just a special, special thing. And we're going to embrace it today of all days. And I thank you for that. So number one is, I don't know whether you guys believe in this kind of thing or not, but multiple people sent me a picture of a big rainbow over South Bend this morning. I don't think it's been raining. Maybe it was a sunbow. I don't understand the science behind all of it. But I woke up and looked at my phone, and multiple people sent me a picture of a rainbow over South Bend. So I don't know whether that's my boy Frank coming into town. I don't know whether it's Frank coming into town for this one. I don't know whether it means nothing. I don't know whether that's just to protect our sorrows later. I have no idea what it means. But there is definitely a big old Irish rainbow there over South Bend this morning. So take that how you will. One more thing I want to go over before we get into super chats and then give it to the callers. Let's see if I can do this without messing up the call-in lines. Remember, I got to hook those up. So let me read this to you. I want you guys to see this. Let me find it here. Here we go. So I want to read this to you. This came to me yesterday morning. And it's from one of our regular listeners, Mark H. And here's what he says. John, my wife and I were in a really bad car accident leaving the Chiefs game last night. We're both okay. We were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but we're able to go home. I woke up this morning with a whole new outlook on life. A bunch of little things lined up just right that resulted in me still being alive today. That makes football seem so far less serious. I know tomorrow's game may feel like life and death for some, but I hope everybody realizes what's more important. Enjoy watching the game with your people tomorrow. Thanks for being a friend, Mark H. And I wanted to read that for the group and to give us a little perspective. And I see the Ohio State trolls in here. I'm not letting you guys get to me today. Like, go ahead and write whatever you're going to write. I'm ignoring it. I don't care about you. You don't matter. I don't care. So today's not the day. I entertained all your guys' crap for the last week and a half. I'm done with it. I don't care. Write whatever stupid crap you come up with. Try and be creative. Rudy was offsides. Like, oh man, you really got us on that one. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. But I see Mark here in the chat. I wanted everybody to have that little bit of perspective about the game tonight and, just what this means and to keep in mind, that if you're watching the game with your people, and you're allowed to care about football, that already is a luxury a lot of people don't have. And so I just wanted to mention that, and God bless you and the wife, Mark. I'm glad you guys are upright and doing okay. Okay, couple super chats, and then we'll get right to the callers. Mark with glasses. We haven't lost a big game since the introduction of the Always Irish Big Game chain, and a win tonight would prove it has magical powers. It is on the wall, and it is given power to all. Okay, D-Lo Brown. So proud of this team, no matter what the outcome. That's for sure, man. They fought through everything this year. Jay Card, this is hilarious. This is the most Notre Dame thing of all time. This is hilarious. The second this game's in, I'm calling John to bitch about recruiting. It's just the most. It is the most Notre Dame-iest thing in the world. Like, I absolutely love that. I laughed out loud when I saw that in the chat. It's so perfect for this fan base. We can win the championship, and the next day it's going to be like, I don't like where this recruiting's at, and I just think it needs to get a lot better. Mark with the $2 We're winning this one. Love you, John. I love you, Mark, and I'm glad you're alive. Glad you're alive, buddy. $5 from Mikey Pulse, the Always Irish tailgate security guard. Woo, Irish. Go kick some anus and take names and ass. $5 holler. I appreciate it. $20 holler, Ryan Elliott. It may be cold in Indiana today, but I'm sweating like a pig, nervous about this game. Let's go. Hey, do whatever you got to do, you guys. Drinks for breakfast, edibles for lunch. I don't know. Do what you need to do to survive the day. I ain't here to judge. Not today. You do what you need to do. William Wolf. Oh, $10 holler. Irish playing on outs money tonight. All the pressure on Ryan Day and his 20 million team. 14 five-star players versus one. A team built on money versus team built on culture. Why not us? They would argue Notre Dame spent a lot of money on their roster too. It's just not publicized as much. That I'm just giving you the pushback. That's what they would say. And again, there's nothing wrong with paying money to build a roster now. Like, that's the name of the game. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. It's just a fact. And I don't know why Ohio State people get mad when you bring it up. They were bragging about it all when they were acquiring these players. They were bragging about it on Twitter, how serious they were getting about winning. And then now that you bring it up, it's like looked at, they take offense to it. It makes absolutely no sense. That fan base was on Twitter bragging about all of this. And look at how serious we're getting about winning finally. And then if anybody else brings it up, it's an offense. Get over yourself. $5 holler from Jake. 26 years of living, of hoping and dreaming comes down to tonight. Go Irish. The Freeman factor and the spirit of Notre Dame will win this game. Rodney, $10 holler. Here we go. Is my Always Irish family ready? Are you ready? So this one's going to be the toughest challenge yet. However, Notre Dame gets it done tonight somehow, some way. 23-21, that's a low-scoring game. That plays into Notre Dame's favor. If it's the lower scoring this is, the more it helps Notre Dame. And the longer you drag this game out at a lower scoring situation, the better it's going to be. Local source, $10 holler. I believe, Johnny. I'm glad you do. $10 holler from John Simpson. Not since 88 have I been so pumped about an ND team. Let's go Irish. 21-10. Ooh, prayers and thoughts to Mark H. 21-20, man. You know how many... Can you imagine the stress level if it's 21-20 or my prediction 28-27, something like that? Could you imagine the stress level? $2 holler for the Chief. Just win and I could die happy. Yeah, there's a lot of people in that camp. It reminds me of a lot of the Cubs stuff in 16. I'm a White Sox guy, but a lot of that, just give me this and I won't ask for anything else. You know, there's a lot of that going on. Zachary, $10 holler. Ohio State versus the world. I thought they have fans worldwide. So which is it? They create whatever narrative they want in their head. It doesn't matter. They create the narrative in their head they're going to run with, and it is what it is. And it's in their mind. I don't know. Whatever. Games are picked to win. It's Ohio against the world. It's like, no, it's not. Actually, it makes no sense. It reminds you of when Kirby was like, I don't know. Nobody believes in us. Bro, you won two last year. He was saying, nobody believes in us. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, you have one of the best rosters in football, and you won 2 of the last 3 championships. What are you talking about? Nobody believes in you. Irish eyes. Lost my brother on this day in 2020. Wasn't happy when I saw the championship was being played today. Just the worst day of my life. Been an Irish fan all my life. Would love to see them win it all. Maybe they could get it done. Get it done in your brother's honor, my friend. Get it done in your brother's honor. $2 holler from Honor. I'm a little nervous today. Go Irish. That's understated, I feel like. Really understated. All right, you guys. We got a decent amount of calls, but it isn't overwhelming. If you're on hold, you should be able to get on the line for sure. We're going to try and go 5 minutes or under, how you're feeling, how you're doing, how you're processing the day, what you think about the game, whatever you need to do this morning to get it out. Go for it. $20 hour. Appreciate this. Akshat Shakar, Tupac's brother, called in to express displeasure. Sure, with Denbrock post NIU, which I regret, since him, along with Riley, Oben, Kaiser, Mitch, has proven everything wrong. Need Drake, Bryce, Burnham to break similar barriers for the Natty. It's, man, what a long journey that is. If that was the last call, man, what a long journey. Something changed, man. That, you hate to say it, but like that nightmare, it was a turning point. It, like, you would hate to admit that, like, it takes something like that to flip the switch for a team or for a coaching staff or the head guy or whatever it is. But it's really hard to ignore how this team has looked ever since that moment, and showed up at Purdue, and it's just been off to the races. All right, let's get to the callers. 386, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. Man, we made it. It's do or die.
This is it, man. This is it. It's going to be a long, long day, long afternoon. So what's on your mind, man? Are you focused on like your feelings and getting through the day and your thoughts, or thinking about the game, or both? Where are you at this morning waking up?
I've got this little sense of calmness that I've had, like leading into Georgia, leading into Penn State. It ramps up as the afternoon goes on, right? You start getting into those general feelings, but I don't know, man. This team and Freeman, they've got a sense of calmness about them, which I really like, and I think it's feeding into me. Usually, I'm like wired up and just distraught, but for some reason, it's different this year. I don't know why.
Yeah, it really does feel different. And you know what? Pat and I talked about some of this Saturday night. A part of the reason it feels a little different to me, and listen, Ohio State could prove me totally wrong. And if they do, I'm going to have a long, miserable night, and I'll own up to this. But it's like, don't you feel like this team in this moment is a lot different than like the Kelly teams or whatever in this moment? Because they've had to prove their way through the playoff, right? It's not like you have a schedule where USC's down or whatever, and you run through it, and then you match up with Alabama a month later and you get destroyed. And it's like, well, was Notre Dame really the best team to put in there? It feels like this team has earned their way into this moment. And I just feel like that's different. Like they're a little more battle tested. They've proven they deserve to be here. And now they have a chance to change Notre Dame history. What do you think about that?
Totally agree. The playoff format, it's not like we play the regular season and then, we're in our bowl game. We played 3 bowl games, 2 being New Year's 6 major bowl games. We've proved that we earned this spot. We deserve it. And that's what I think is a great segue from the calmness. This team has earned it. They're ready to go out and show it. If Ohio State goes out there and beats us, I'll be the first one to tip the cap. We had a great year. We have a great team. You guys are just better. I'm okay with that. Now, there's really not much that can upset me tonight as well. If we lose by 30, of course, I'll be pissed and I'll be heartbroken. Fine. But if we play a close game and lose one in the 20s, whatever, it's okay. I do think we're going to win, but I think I'm going to be okay no matter what. Yeah,
it is. Listen, it's okay to want this as bad as we do. And also, listen, Ohio State people, just keep typing. Like, it says a lot to me. You don't want to spend your morning with Ohio State people talking to your own people about your own game, and you want to be here trolling me. Go for it. It isn't going to bother me. Type your little heart away at breakfast. I do not care about you. So I'm with you, man. And while you're here, you're like, hey, as long as you're here, you may as well win it and change Notre Dame history forever and get Marcus Freeman that bronze statue across from Frank at the entrance. But it's so, like, but I get what you're saying though, man. If they fall short and the depth ends up catching up to you at the last game of the year, you look at how much progress has been made this year from Notre Dame and like where the program's changing in a good trajectory. like there will be things to take away from this that are obviously positive. You broke through 30 years of Notre Dame scar tissue with your accomplishments this year. And it's really impressive. And so you will have that. But now that you're here, you may as well win it, damn it, you know?
Yes, and earlier in the week, it was, all right, I'm okay if we lose it. We've done enough. 2 New Year's 6 bowl games in 7 days, I'm happy. But as it's gotten closer, I remind myself, hey, it's been 12 years since the last time I've seen one of these.
Yep.
You're not guaranteed to get this far very often, right? So as it's crept up, now we're at game day. We're here. We might as well go win the damn thing. And all these Ohio State fans are in our chat. You guys are the epitome of what we do not want to be as Notre Dame fans. You do not see us running our mouths in these other podcasts and other channels. Focus on yourselves. So that we win tonight, that is going to be the best crow we can ever feed them, because I'm just sick of seeing it. I'm sick of hearing about it.
And you know what? Listen,
let's
man.
Go beat them.
And if they win, guess what that means? The more healthy team with more top-end talent won the game, and as they were predicted to do, and as should probably be. Like, that's all the pressure should be on them. I'm going to say it again, man. There is freedom that comes with being an underdog. There is freedom that comes with that. You're able to take advantage of the opportunity, be glad you're there, take some chances. Like, the pressure is on them. They are favored for a reason, and we're going to give it all we got and try and grab this championship out of their hands. And so that's the way I'm looking at it. And but it's just like, now that you're here, you made it this far, write the final chapter, right?
Go finish it off, man. Give this what we've been wanting for so long. Just give it to us. I got Irish 23-21. I got us pulling out something late, low in the 20s. We keep it low in the 20s. There's no doubt about it. We're going to be in the game, and we're going to have a chance to take it.
Yeah.
And I think tonight's the night. This team, this coaching staff, these players, not only do they deserve it, but they're going to go get it. I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen tonight, Johnny.
It's this is going to be an interesting night. I'll admit this to you, man. You're a longtime caller, and everybody here, I love this community. I'll admit this. This is the first post-game call-in show that I'm admitting I have absolutely no plan for. I have no narrative for. I have no outlines. Like, usually I have an outline. If it goes well, here's the narrative. If it goes bad, here's the narrative. If it's 50-50, but we win, but we're not happy with like a regular season game, here's the narrative. I have no outline. I have no bullet points. I have nothing. We're going in this one raw and real, and we're going to just take the emotions as they come, whether it's a funeral or the best night of our lives. We're going to do it together. That is the only right way to end the year. Anything else, my friend? Thank you for always being a part of the community. Your family showing up at the tailgate in Miami, all this stuff, man. I appreciate you guys.
Dude, and I couldn't have said it better. We're going to join each other after the game, raw, unfiltered. Whatever happens, happens. But guess what? We're going to be there for each other. Either enjoy it or funeral to wake, wake to funeral, whatever. We'll be there with each other, and that's what matters. This community is going to just keep growing through the off season, and man, what an off season it's going to be if we can pull this off. So just having our conversation this morning, I'm amped up. Get to your other callers. I'll be listening to the rest of the show, and we will talk to you after the game.
And I appreciate it. Try and not stress out the rest of the day, brother. What a nice guy. Nice family, man. Nice family. They support me in a lot of ways. Always calling, going to the games, like whatever, man. I appreciate it. $5 holler from Tom. We'll go right back to the calls. Notre Dame football season, it's coming to an end. The championship trophy, it belongs in South Bend. Ooh, everybody knows Johnny Boy likes a little rhyme. It's good to have a Rudiger here, by the way. Good morning, Angela. It's perfect to have you here. It's only appropriate. Angela's been with me for so long, through so much bad Notre Dame football, man. She has been by my side through just some awful Notre Dame lows, man, in the last 20 years. I'm glad she's here with us for this. Man, I love the rhyming, Tom. That's special. You know me, I like some rhyming, just not Kleenex or orange. They're the only two I have trouble with, but I love rhymes. Ben Dog, you got to talk about the dogs. God, that's fun to say. And my stupid face, the way your face looks when you go to dogs. It's beautiful. What a way to start a day. $10 holler. Today is the feast of Saint Sebastian, patron saint of athletes. Let's all send up a quick prayer before the game. So proud of this team no matter what happens. Class of 24 alum, currently in the UK. Thanks for checking in. And again, you could believe it's nothing. You could believe it's a natural weather phenomenon. You could believe whatever you want to believe, but that multiple people sending me the picture of that rainbow over South Bend, it could be Frank Leahy flying into town. I'm telling you, it could be Frankie flying into town, needing to be on campus to feel this one, man. Maybe his soul flew back into that fire station bedroom he used to sleep in because he didn't want to leave campus. Callahan Auto Parts, $5 hour. It sucks we're so injured, but we can 100% do it. And not sure why OSU fans are chalking it up. I don't know, man. A lot of people at the game are messaging me that the Ohio State people they're talking to, they are still not taking Notre Dame seriously. They believe this is just a celebration from the beginning of the night and it's over. Why have Notre Dame even show up at all, man? Just roll the ball out there and give them the trophy, I guess. Isaac Jude. Not all of us Ohio State guys are ignorant. I respect you guys to the fullest. Thank you, Isaac. Yeah, there are some good ones, man. You can't generalize. And Kent Jackson's been here a long time. I've gotten to know him off air a little bit. Good guy. Eric over at the Ohio Pod. I mean, Chris is a different story, but Eric at the Ohio Pod couldn't be nicer all the time. I appreciate it. Mikey Poles. John, crack a Miller Lite for us on stream. Set the tone. $2 holler. Yeah, who needs coffee when you have Miller Lite, right? The Swan Dong. It's a long story on that name. $5 holler. I could finally retire my ripped ND flag that hangs outside my house. It's been through 2 hurricanes this year. Go Irish. Yeah, hopefully you can get a new one. I want all of these. I want all of the play like a champion today and all the signs everybody has with all of the national titles, and they all have room for a couple more at the bottom. It's time to add a year. 215, what's going on?
John, the day has come.
This is it.
The day has come.
This is it.
I want to first of all say thank you for what you do. I mean, this is an outlet for all of us. You know, this is something that, you know, for me, I started listening a year ago. This has been need someone to vent my frustrations to and listen to other people and, you know, just seeing this community and it's just something great to see. But this is what we watch for. This is what we put all those Saturdays that usually 3:30 on NBC or, you know, whenever we're playing. Like this is, you know, the time, you know, watching the blue and gold game, keeping up with the recruiting, dealing with, you know, idiot fans that of other teams, Michigan fans, USC fans, Miami fans, Penn State fans. You know, this is something where we can put all that, you know, we can just basically tell them to shove it, you know, if we win tonight. So for me, I'm feeling okay. Come about 5 o'clock, I'm going to start pacing around my house.
Yeah.
I'm going to start pacing around my house. And, you know, this is just something that it could be so special, but, you know, if things go the other way where we lose, you know, you can't really look at this like it's been a bad year. I mean, you broke the hump of, you know, losing big bowl games, big New Year's Six games, and you got 2. You didn't get 1, you got 2.
Yeah.
Against Georgia and Penn State.
I'm really trying to have that perspective. You know, should we end up that just Ohio State just has too much talent, we're too banged up, and that just ends up being the reality. We're all gonna hurt, we're all gonna feel that pain to come so close and not get one more. But when the emotion of that starts to settle down, I think we will appreciate more what was accomplished this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm not making excuses. I want this just as much as anybody for all of us.
Sure.
But if you don't get it, there were a lot of barriers broken for Notre Dame in the modern era here. And for Freeman, there was a lot accomplished. And it would take some time for the immediate emotions to die down, for that all to sink in. But I've always spoken about the Notre Dame scar tissue of 30 years of not getting over that big game bowl hump and all that stuff. Freeman won more major bowl games in a 2-week span than the entire program's had in 30 years combined. Like, that tells you the trajectory this program is on under Marcus Freeman. And if it doesn't go well in time, that's going to be the takeaway. And I wouldn't love it, but like, that would be your consolation prize, is like, you made a lot of progress. You're banged up. It's just, it wasn't your time yet, but you got close and you got a taste of what it's like to win in these moments. And that will help the program in those moments moving forward. That's how I'm looking at it.
Exactly. And, you know, look, this sets something up. This sets something up for the future. I mean, people, you know, like you kids in high school now, they want to prioritize high school recruiters. You know, if you're a decent student and a solid football player, Notre Dame's an attractive place. I mean, you have the coach, you have the culture, you have, you know, this fan base, whether alums, Subway alums like myself, you know, it's an attractive place. Now, I do have a couple questions for you. Number one, and you're probably going to get this a lot today, and I know usually bringing Goolsby and forget his name, I'm sorry. Usually bringing Goolsby to do the S's and O's. What is the number one thing we have to do on offense?
I think outside, you got to figure out a way to extend drives. I really do think. I don't know what it looks like, whether it's Leonard's legs or if you can throw the ball a little bit. I think Notre Dame has got to extend some drives, keep their offense off the field, keep our defense rested. And yeah, you want points and touchdowns, obviously. But the biggest thing to me is Notre Dame has got to find a way to sustain some drives so that it speeds up that game, takes time off the clock, that all their Maseratis aren't out there trying to catch passes and get behind us. It keeps our defense more fresh. I really do think that is like one of my biggest keys. I don't know what it looks like and how you get there. I respect Ohio State's defense and Jim Knowles. You got to find a way to extend some drives. You can't have quick 3 and outs and the defense is out there most of the game, and you can't do it. So you just got to keep them chains moving.
Exactly. Control time for that possession. That's huge. And then number 2, and then this will be my last thing. What time's the first beer getting cranked? Because I'm debating in my head, you know, what time to get going and get this thing going, get this thing started.
You guys could do whatever you want to do. Me having all the work. Listen, everything's changed for me, man. Once I started doing this for a living and having the post-game show and everything, my days of drinking 20 beers for every Notre Dame game are over. So I don't drink during the games because I have articles to write and content to do after every game. So I'm not going to be drinking, but everybody else, God bless you. Do what you need to do to knock the edge off, baby. Knock that edge off. I don't blame you. Have scrambled eggs and Miller Lite. I don't care. Do it today.
Yeah. This is, because I'm contemplating. I'm like, I know the anxiety is going to kick in at some point. So I need to have a coping mechanism or something to get through today. So thank you so much for the call.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
This is a great community. You know, I'm watching the Patreons. Those are great. Everything's, this is, like I said, this is what we invest for. This is why we make the trips to South Bend. This is why we tune in. This is everything. This is literally everything. And, for me, compared to some of my other teams, I want this championship more than anything.
Yeah.
Just the chip on the shoulder, the whole, all the haters, Cam Newton. I just want to see him shut up. He's driving me nuts. I got to tune that out today.
Yep.
The guy looks like a buffoon. It's just, geez.
Yep. I have, I'll tell you, dude, I'm not consuming any of this media. I've limited my Twitter exposure. I don't do any of the ESPN talking. I'm not doing any of it. I don't need it. I'm not interested in it. I don't value what they say. I don't respect what they think. Most of these people have nothing to say about Notre Dame or negative things to say about Notre Dame, and then they end up in the championship game and they want to get some ratings run off of it. I definitely do not respect it, and I'm not watching any of this crap. So I know what I know going into this game, and I'm not watching any of it tonight, none of the pregame. I don't care about, none of it matters. I don't care about any of it. And we're going to see what happens, man. But a lot will have been accomplished if we don't get this done. But now that you're here, you may as well get across the finish line, buddy.
Exactly. John, thank you so much. Let's get this done. Go Irish,
thank
baby.
you. Go Irish. Man, we're off to a good start today, you guys. I like this energy. Here we go. Here's Eric. Genuinely a good person from the other side. Hello, everybody. Just quickly stopping by to say, win or lose, I appreciate everybody here for a great community. Good luck. May the best team win. Yeah, Eric, you're a good guy, man. You're a good guy. People aren't too fond of your co-host there, the bad cop, but you, I don't think people are holding anything against you, buddy. $2 olive from the Surge. Started the show late. Did you see the birds? I saw some other things. Not the birds this time. Not the birds this time, but I saw some other things. And if this ends up going Notre Dame's way, it'll probably end up being its own episode. But I did see some other weird things. And I don't know, man. I saw some weird things. The rainbow in South Bend, the sun bow, the snow bow, whatever. I don't know the science behind it, but I'm just telling you, I don't know, whatever. $5 olive from the Blue Wolverine. Good luck. We don't get too many of those from Wolverine country. 219 Commander Luke, we're gonna pull you up here in a minute. Well, let's get Rodney in, and then we're gonna go to the commander, and we'll see what he thinks on a day like this. We'll see which personalities he's pulling out of the closet. Rodney, what's going on, Rodney?
Time's upon us, man. The time's upon us. This is what we've been waiting for, Johnny. I mean, I think back, John, I don't remember exactly when it was. I wish I did. I wish I'd written that date down that you and I got connected. You know, I think it was right after that Michigan debacle in 2019. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's when it started appearing in my algorithm. I'd have been watching you from day one if I knew you existed. And so we're going on about 5 years now. I know there's a lot of people in this chat or not in the chat that have been around even longer than that. So I just want to say, God bless you, man. I'm so glad we got connected. I'm real proud of you. Dude, the fact that Shane Gillis called in last week, you know, I don't know, man. I'm real proud of you, man, for what's happened. Your family's amazing. This community's amazing. The tailgates have been incredible. So first of all, I just wanted to thank you and thank all you guys that are in this whole thing. And that includes some of the Ohio State people. And I mean that.
Yeah.
And some of the people of other fan bases that have come on here. The fact that they would come on your show on a day they should be talking to their own people.
I know.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah. I think so too, man. I would think that you would want to be with your people, you know, cranking up for this. I don't know. Maybe that shows how little they think of Notre Dame. And I just keep hearing that Notre Dame shouldn't even show up and just roll the trophy into Columbus. And why even have the guys bother?
Look, man, these are, to be honest, to be fair, you know, I was watching that ESPN thing with Marcus Freeman and Ryan Day, and I thought, you know, both close. Say what you want about Ryan Day, man. They're a program built on culture as well. They got some great kids there. I say kids, young adults, you know what I mean? Early 20s, late teens, whatever. They got some good culture going there at Ohio State too, man. There's no question. Both teams have had to overcome some adversity this year. You know, and I was watching that Texas game last week, and Texas was keeping it close, but I just in the back of my mind knew that something was gonna happen in that game, and I'm like, Ohio State's going to make a play, and sure enough, they did. And it's like,
yeah,
okay. As much as I wanted to see a Notre Dame Texas games, I like that matchup better. I'm like, the better team won that game. So we got what I truly believe are the two best teams in college football playing right now. It may have been Oregon up to a point, but the two best teams in the country are playing in the game. And that's taking my hat off to both teams before I get into my Notre Dame part of it. I just want to say this is the most games any teams have ever played. Obviously, this is the inaugural 12-team college football playoff.
Yep.
And how appropriate that it's the revenge of the traditional. You know, the two northern teams. Michigan winning the last game
Yeah.
of the national, of the 14 thing last year, Ohio State, Notre Dame in the national title this year. You talk about revenge of the North. Penn State, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Okay, throw Texas in there. They're not even a traditional SEC team. It's just kind of sweet to see all this stuff come full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
So I just want to say that. Don, it's going to take a monumental effort tonight. I was really worried last week, pretty much on, the whole last 7-8 days. And then I'm watching like Goolsby. I'm watching Tim Priester and Pete Sampson and Brian Driscoll and all these people who I do respect. I respect them very much as just people that know Notre Dame football. And I'm seeing that they don't look that nervous, and I can read their body language because I've been watching a lot of them over the years. And I'm like, man, and here I am worrying. I'm like, okay, these guys must know something that I don't, or they got a good feeling about something. And then I look at Lou Holtz's 88 today. I body wash with Irish Spring on every Notre Dame game, right? And I just had enough left in the bottle today to get my last bit of it out. I don't know. It's just little things like this. I hear about rainbows in South Bend.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, John, I'm starting to believe. Again, I think it's going to take a monumental effort. And I'm going to say this, John, I'll let you go because I want other the rest of all these Irish families to get the word in. But the one player that I really think has been under the radar the last few weeks, and I think it's killing him inside, Jeremiah Love. I heard Marcus Freeman talk about that number 4 on Ohio State's team, that number 4 Jeremiah. And I think that there is a little bit of a psychological play in that, man. Because I think he knew Jeremiah Love was listening. He's like, what about me? I'm number 4. My name's Jeremiah. And while he had probably the best 2-yard run you'll ever see, or whatever it was, 1 or 2 yards in that game against Penn State, while he's played with grit the last few weeks, we haven't seen Jeremiah Love in his full Jeremiah Love, run like the wind since that 98-yard touchdown against Indiana. I think that there's a huge play ready for him to happen tonight, man. I really do.
Yeah, it would. That'd be great. And I hear that he's feeling back near full health, so that'd be great.
That's what I read too. So, John, I will leave you with that, man. Go Irish. 23-21, man. Somehow, some way.
Oh, somehow, some way. We'll see you on the post-game show, Rodney. And thanks. Rodney's at everything we do, man. Rodney goes to all the tailgates. He's at all the events, the NIL event I did. And he's been a long time guy. I really appreciate him. Jay Carr, I remember the video of John blowing up at the Commander over the summer that got recommended to me a week ago. Oh, emotions run high around here, you guys, sometimes. Emotions run high. James Simon, trolling aside, I love this show, John, more than most Buckeye shows, honestly. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. We have a unique community here and a unique bond and a unique field. There's nothing like it. I respect everybody who does this content work in the Notre Dame space. There's nothing that feels like this community, and I'm proud of that. Everybody has their special little, niche in the niche. And mine's the fan lane, and we built some really strong relationships. Shout out to Dr. John and Tom Frowley, 2 of my old school Notre Dame guys, and it means the world to me to see you guys here on a morning like this. It gives me great comfort just to see you guys here. It really does, and I mean that. Oh boy, let's do the Commander, and after that we will. We'll give you an alarm. If you're not awake yet, I have a feeling the caller after Commander will wake you up. So some of you are going to know where that's heading to. Commander, what's going on, buddy?
Here we are, John. You bit me with the intro. I got big shoes to fill, but it's championship game day. LFG.
This is it, man. This is
the
it.
Last time. This is it. This is what it's all about. Last time we spoke was prior to the season, and on that call, I wasn't sure how this year was going to go. And I told you, I said, Coach Freeman, the players, the fans, everybody's going to get what we deserve. And here we are, championship game day, right where we're supposed to be. with the job that the coaches and the team have done this year is phenomenal. Coach Freeman, hands down, one of the top coaches in college football. Regardless if his staff is aiding him along the way, he hired them. They're his crew. They're all in it together.
Yeah. It's man, it's I'm so proud of what they accomplished and all they overcame and all the injuries and everything else. It's just, man, you got here, find a way to get over the finish line, right? Like, it's never guaranteed you're going to have a run like that again, even with a good team. But now that you're here, it's like, man, is it too much to ask to just find a way to edge out one more? Somehow, some way, edge out one more, and we can all die happy. Just give it to me one time. Son of a buck. Give it to me.
Well, we may be a couple men down, but we're as ready as we can be. I think the coaches are going to have everybody ready. There's some things I'd like to see if I were the coach that I would do. For example, one being when we get into third and long, I would say, okay, try to throw for the first down or run. If it's short, try to run. If it's 5 yards or something, and you want to try to throw it to the sticks, go ahead and do that. But if you're in third and long, 10 yards or plus, I say 2 or 3 times in the game, if you're in that situation, let Leonard throw the ball as far down the field he can and try to find Collins or Faison or one of those guys.
Yeah.
Take a shot. If it gets picked off, who cares? I don't care about any stats in this game.
Yeah, here, dude,
that isn't going to matter.
Commander, I'm with you where I'm thinking, you're here, you're an underdog, whatever. We all know all that. I would have no problem with this team picking a couple spots to take some chances in this game and play this game to go win
Calculated.
Play this game to go win a championship, not to play scared, not to lose or not to lose by a lot, but go in there with a plan to try and win the championship. I will respect you if you do that. Even if it blows up on you, I'll respect that you had the balls to go to win a championship and try something. I'm not saying to be reckless, but if you need to pick your spots to take a couple chances here, calculate it. I'm all for that. And whether it works or not, I will applaud you for having the balls to try and win a championship and not play scared and coach scared.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Go out there, let it all hang out, try to win. It's going to take we've had some unsung heroes along this journey. Versus Georgia, I said that R.J. Oden guy, or maybe that was versus Penn State. I said, he's going to step up and he's going to make some plays. He did. Heinisch. Okay. The 3 guys that I'm looking at as the secret weapons, we'll call them, is Oden, Heinisch, and Evans. The last time they played Ohio State, Evans was dominating the first half. They were throwing him the ball. He was catching it. The electricity was so intense when Evans would catch the ball, make a first down, they'd show his face in his helmet and stuff, and he's pointing for the first down and saying, give me the ball, feed me. You could cut the electricity in the air that was around him in the first half of that game as we're taking it to the Ohio State Buckeyes, which I don't know why they underestimate us. Last 2 times, it ain't like they went out and just whooped us.
Yeah. It is, man, I'm telling you, man.
It didn't happen.
It just feels, this whole vibe around this team feels a little different, man. They have that edge to them that we have been missing and begging for literally 30 years. This team plays with that edge. And you know what else Freeman's been able to do that no other coach has done lately? He's been able to get more out of the group than it appears like he should be able to on paper. He's been able to maximize what we have in the big moments and get these guys to play collectively better than it looks like individually they should on a stat sheet or a piece of paper before the games. There's something going on here that's really good. Find a way to get it over the edge tonight.
Yeah, I agree. He's got something. Coach Freeman definitely has something going on. I like the guy. I never hated Freeman like everybody wanted to say. I didn't like the way he would do some things.
Yeah.
And now it's unfortunate, that there's a chance that he's going to be getting calls, and he didn't, regardless of what everybody says, he didn't close the door on any of it in his press conference. hopefully he can stick around. I think I had mentioned in one of the chats that his son, maybe he'll want to stick around and try to get his son. His son's a good football player. I don't know that he's, a top caliber guy that's going to go to, some of these top end programs. But if his dad's the coach, and Marcus says, hey, I'd like to coach my son and wants to get him a spot on the team. Okay, Notre Dame's got that going for him. They could always pull that out if it looks like Freeman is showing interest in the NFL. Say, hey, why don't you stay coaching here? Get your son on the team. He graduates from high school next year, and we'll keep Marcus around for the next 5-6 years and see what happens.
I want to worry about one problem at a time. I'm not even thinking about any of the coaching stuff.
I know. I get that. I get that. This is one of these games tonight where we're gonna be watching it, and we're gonna be riding that ride right there along with the team, the coaches, and all the fans that are there. This is one of those games that we're going to be feeling the emotion.
Yeah.
It's, right there along with everybody else. And it's going to be intense.
This is a big one. Hey, Commander, thank you, man. Even when you're trolling me or playing the opposition card, you're always here and you always generate interaction. And I really appreciate you always being a part of the group, man. Even when I'm yelling at you, I still appreciate you being around. Just know that.
Well, that's okay. A lot of the things I say get taken out of context or twisted, or people don't understand where I'm coming from. I am indeed 100% Notre Dame fan.
I know.
And, I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. I want to watch it with my kids, and if we win, this will be a memory that we'll have and share together. And there's nothing left to say. It's time to put the ball in the air. And
let's do it.
Go.
Let's do it. We'll be here after the game, good or bad, funeral or the best day of our lives.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Commander. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Even when he's difficult, I know he likes Notre Dame. Man, I'm telling you, some of this stuff you just can't make up. Dan, I think that dog in the picture has more football intellect than you're bringing to the table this morning. I got to tell you, man, it's all I heard going into the Georgia game was, we actually feel better about this quarterback that was more highly recruited than Beck, and we like his legs. And I kept hearing that actually Georgia felt better about their chances with that quarterback. And then Notre Dame wins, and all of a sudden it's like you only won because the quarterback was out. You're not allowed to have it both ways. And here's the other thing. Notre Dame had all those injuries or whatever. Georgia has a top 3, legitimate top 2 roster, I would probably say, in the whole country. But suddenly it was all because of that quarterback, and none of the line of scrimmage stuff mattered. None of the Notre Dame bullying them around up front. None of that stuff mattered at all. It's absolutely unbelievable the revisionist history people will go through to downplay anything Notre Dame does that's good. Ohio State fan, real creative. Good one, man. How'd you think of that? Georgia is terrible. It's a top 2 roster in college football. They have the most proven coach in college football. No active coach now has more championships than that guy. Him and Dabo are tied, I believe. But it's just the revisionist history to make Notre Dame's win against Georgia not mean anything is absolutely unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It was just all about that quarterback. We feel better about this guy's leg. And then right when we win, it's only because of the quarterback. And everyone ignores the talent on that roster that Notre Dame pushed around. Andrew's saying Stockton led the come from behind win against Texas. And then once Notre Dame wins, it's nothing. It's just nothing. Notre Dame beats the SEC champion. Oh, that's nothing. That conference has no talent. Like, it's unbelievable how far people will go to discredit anything good Notre Dame does. It really is amazing. It truly is amazing. If Notre Dame beats Ohio State, what are they going to say? We only spent $20 million and not $40 million, so it doesn't matter. Like, what's it going to be then? It's always something. And people will spend all night tossing and turning, coming up with a way to downplay something good Notre Dame did. It's unbelievable. Oh man, that is rough. 559. If you're not awake yet, you're going to be now. What's going on, baby?
What's up, John? We're right here at the ATL representing. You already know. I'm already ready to go. Got just finished getting ready. We're about to hit the street. All I know is we need to have a conversation. I just met some of your old-time callers that have been listening to you for a very long time. He's actually a champion of the 1977 championship. And we had a very, very interesting conversation that I got to tell you off the air. But I want to let you know, John, a lot of people here hearing you. I actually posted something about the first-time caller that called on Saturday night, I guess. He ran into me. And it's just been one of those things, John. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of people. There's all ages. And this is what I'm talking about. It ain't just your grandpa's team. There's a new age. I was hanging out with all the student body of the University of Notre Dame, and that was like, it was a good time. I hung out with the president of the student body, and we had a very interesting conversation on how Notre Dame is different.
Notre Dame's certainly different, my friend. Dude, I got to give you so much credit, man. You fly everywhere. You are going to all these games. You're in South Bend. You're on the road. You're all over. I got to give you credit for the way you follow this team, man.
Man, John, you know what? Here's the thing, John. And this is no knock on nobody, but you know what? This is happening because of my son that gave me the courage and gave me the strength to call your show. After that, it's been a blessing of the people that I met through Twitter, through you, through the channels, the people that just enjoyed my fandom. Like, I'm grateful for all of you. Like, I really am. A lot of it has happened because a lot of you have made this happen for me. I never wanted to, like, overspend on my grounds and all that. And you don't even want to know the story of what happened at the airport and how I got booked in 5 different flights, and now I got to work on my son's tuition. But that's a story for another day. This is about Notre Dame. This is about the moment that we all been waiting for. This is the moment that we have been suffering for 32 years, 37 years, and we talked about that this was impossible because we didn't have a coach that cared about us or the university, and now we do.
That's definitely true.
July, because in July, I called you, and I told you, we got a coach. And it was because of you and Pat, my buddy over there that's all cute and stuff, you know, they're sitting next to you and all that. That's my boy right there.
Man, I love your energy. Hey, were you able to meet up with Brandon Fry? Is that one of the guys? Did you meet up with Brandon last night?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and we turned that bar up.
I'm telling you, Brandon is I'm going to tell you this, man. Brandon is one of my longest listeners. And the original Always Irish flag that I got made, I gave to Brandon when he moved from South Bend down to Atlanta. I wanted him to have it, and he has my original Always Irish flag with him, and that means the world to me.
Yeah, we're gonna meet up with Goolsby and all them at the tailgate in a little bit. We're gonna meet up at lunch right now. We were with each other last night. I got a couple of young Durion, DK. I'm having everybody hang out. We're all studying, and they all saw I had to be a DD driver, and it's okay as long as we're safe. That's all that matters. I'll make sure you get a point A to point B because Notre Dame needs to show up in the stadium and let them know that we ain't here just to say hello. We're here to take it all.
Yeah, you're here. You may as well go find a way to win it, man. So I hope you have a hell of a day, man. Go embrace this, soak it all in. We need as many people with your energy in the building as possible, man. Thank you for giving me a call.
No trip, John. I had to give you a call, and I'm gonna call you after the game, no matter what happens. I'm still gonna call your show. Because you know what, John? I love you, man. Thank you for allowing me to speak and just show my love to University of Notre Dame that nobody believed that a California kid that grew up in the neighborhood that I did would actually love this university. Because that conversation that I had with your old school guy and his son was like, dude, we love when you call. I'm like, I'll call because of John. You know what I mean? And then they're like, dude, you guys are a pair, dude. Yeah, I'm the Mexican version of Rudy. That's what I keep hearing.
Man, I love your energy. I'm glad you're able to be there. Man, it's been great to get to know you and meet you in person. Stay safe and have fun and enjoy the day. Okay, man?
All right. Remember, she said funny. She said funny. She said funny. She said funny. We're all going to win, and we will be national champions of 2025, New University of Notre Dame.
Oh man, I love you. God bless you, my friend. Jeez, I'm just picturing him like in a hotel, and the people next door like hung over trying to sleep in, and they just hear this dude yelling to me on the phone. And you know what's weird? He's out there saying that. He's out there saying that I don't. He's out there saying, you know, I don't drink and all this stuff. I meet him at the tailgate, and he gives me and my dad a shot of homemade Mexican tequila. I gotta tell you, it was smoother. It was smoother than like the regular stuff, than like Patron or whatever. It was really legitimately smooth. I don't know what was in that thing. It could have been ether or something. But he goes, here you go. It's homemade stuff. And then me and my dad take one, and he doesn't take one. I'm like, I don't know about this. It was legitimately smooth. Rose Quartz Lemonade, $20 holler. John, much love. Do you have any concern about CJ getting his first start at left tackle tonight? I believe in JT and Jack as an OSU. As an OSU fan, people are describing CJ as a man amongst boys. My biggest concern is Love and Riley running. Listen, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, Andrew, I am not worrying about any of that. I'm not thinking about any of that. Andrew, I simply cannot process any of the coaching stuff and who's coming or going at all. I just can't. I don't have the bandwidth in my brain or my heart today to worry about all that stuff. And I'm not trying to dismiss what you're bringing up. I'm honestly admitting I don't have it in me to worry about any of that stuff. Today, I can't do it. Tomorrow, let's talk about it, good or bad. But I just can't do it. A part of me feels like everything happens for a reason sometimes. And I just think it's strange how we were all worked up in August. And I remember the day that we found out Jagasaw tore the pec and was going to be out. And we were already worried about the O-line going against A&M in College Station to start the year in that environment. And we were all worked up, and we were talking about, you know, how we're going to navigate that and all this stuff. And then Jags goes down and all this. Isn't it interesting that you've gotten beat up at that O-line all year, and it all comes full circle to where that guy's back out there in the biggest moment? That has been on my mind, that it all comes full circle and Jags ends up being a part of whatever we're going to do. And you want to know who has fresh legs? Charles Jagasaw has fresh legs. I just think it's interesting. I really do. All right, sinus break. You guys know the drill. Dude, I'm dying. It went from 20 degrees here to 40 degrees to minus 20 degrees. It's messing with my head. Give me 10 seconds and we're going to go right back to the calls. This is a good show, you guys. This is cathartic for me. This is healthy. I like this. This is helping me process the day just to talk about it. 10 seconds. Much better. Thank you. Nikki Dean. It is not that. You guys would know. 716. What's going on? Good morning.
Hi, Callahan Auto Parts here. Oh, what's your request? Good officiating for tonight's game. How about that as my big key to this?
Let me ask you this.
My big key.
You're the officiating guy, so let me ask this. What are you expecting to be the difference between the crew that we've had and the SEC crew tonight? Do they let them play more because it's the SEC? Like, do you think it's going to make any difference?
Well, I remember my son called me way back when we played in 2012. He goes, Dad, watch the opening of College Football Live on ESPN. And it shows the Alabama guys literally grabbing the Notre Dame jerseys and pushing the guys out of the way.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate it when the announcers say, oh, they're letting them play. Really? Why? Because they're there? What if you'd have had that mindset in the beginning of the year? Just let them play. Would all the teams that are there be there if you just let them play? The rules are in place for a reason. And I'm challenging everybody, including yourself, go back and look at the field goal that won the Penn State game and tell me how a flag wasn't thrown because the Penn State guy jumped over our center.
Yeah, multiple people are talking about that. Andrew Gilmore says Tim Ide was saying this crew has a history of calling a ton of PI and defensive holding. So that's interesting. If you got Gray back there trying to get grabby with some of those Maserati receivers, it's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, well, my concern is this with officiating this year, as I've seen, especially in a game. We know that was no penalty against the Don. That wasn't. But I don't know how the official's standing where he is. And I'll tell you this. Officiating is 10 to 15% knowing the rules, and 85 to 90% is really being in the correct position.
Yeah.
No way that official's been called to play. He doesn't have x-ray vision. He's not Superman. Then he came out like a deer in the headlights, like, oh, did I make the right call here?
Yeah.
No, and where are the back judges? Where's everybody on the back line watching this saying, oh, no, we had a clear vision. There was no bumping, no pushing. You're going to meet together as officials and tell them that and waive off the penalty.
Yeah.
But the thing, my big concern is you need a crew that's going to be fair both ways. My biggest thing was when I got done doing games, and I'll never forget it, is when kids come to you from both sides, even though the crowd's screaming at you, and the kids from both sides, when they're shaking hands and you're standing there to make sure nothing happens after the game, because some of us did, and they say, Mr. Official, you were fair, and the other team echoes the same thing, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, you just want consistency. Yeah, consistency. If you're gonna call things tight, call it tight, but do it both ways and do it throughout the whole game. I'm with you on that, man. Anything about the gameplay itself? What do you think are the main keys for Notre Dame tonight if they're going to pull this off?
Well, I know this. When we won the Penn State game, do you remember the first remark out of Jeremiah Love's mouth? He said, I want Ohio State. So he's got an axe to grind somewhere because you just don't come out and say that. I want Ohio State. That guy was pumped for the game. He wants to show Ohio State who the best running back in the country is. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And Jagasaw, listen, this guy, you don't have to worry about this guy. I mean, maybe the technique might take a little time during the thing, but you don't think that he's on the sidelines thinking, I could have been the starting tackle? He's chomping at the bit to get in there and show his teammates, this is where I was. He wants to play in this game more than you can believe because of what he's seen his teammates go through. Trust me, if you've ever been on a team and you can't play and you're watching your teammates do it, and then you get a chance to go in and contribute after sitting, oh, this guy wants to contribute. Trust me. Trust me. I wouldn't be surprised if he had to field pancakes and people would be going, what happened here?
Yep.
Because I'm sure he was a wrestler. And wrestlers are a different breed of cat, man.
Yep.
Trust me.
I'm with you, man. Dude, I'm totally with you. And I a few minutes ago I brought up, I just think it's interesting how Jagasaw's out all year. And then at the end of the year when you need it and you're down a couple linemen and guys are banged up, for that guy to come back, it's just, I wonder if that happens for a reason. And maybe he's a big part of us running behind him tonight or something like it. I'm thinking about it, man. This is going to be really interesting to see.
Well, that's the thing. And here's the thing. I watched the Buffalo Bills yesterday, my team, and everybody said, well, you know, they're undersized and they're mammoth, the Ravens are. And why the Ravens didn't keep running the ball is beyond me instead of passing. But anyways, they're saying, well, they're undersized. They can't do anything. You know, they're not able to do this. But there's a big thing that they have that Notre Dame has. And Ryan Day said it. There's no quit in their defense. You can't take a play off because their defense is coming all the time.
Yeah.
There's no quit. Because here's the saying. It's not the size of the dog that counts. It's the fight in the dog.
The dogs.
Right? And I believe we're going to come at them. We're going to come at them, and we're not going to change anything.
Yeah.
Al's going to dial up some sort of defense, whatever. Hey, if they go man for man, let them go man for man. If they want to play zone, play zone. But I always have believed in man for man because it frees your linebackers up to do a blitz. But anyways, I would love to see him change some things up and go back to the old 3-4 defense. I'm wondering if that would confuse the quarterback from Ohio State, because nobody plays that anymore. You got to do something they're not expecting. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, and
I think we're going to.
This is the moment, man. You hired Al Golden and Mike Denbrock for a reason, and for them to scheme up something here, that is the reason, man. You need to have a good plan, and then the guys need to go execute it. Listen, man, all these people predicting a total blowout. I just don't think Notre Dame's going to roll over and hand the trophy to these guys. We may get beat up over the course of the game and they end up outrunning you or something, but Notre Dame is not going to go down easy in this one. Anything else, my friend?
Yeah, two things I'll close with. They're not going to roll over. They're not going to roll over. And the thing is, if you give 100%, right, you don't lose the game. The other team just happened to be better that time. And the other thing I want is people want to pray for Marcus Freeman, because I was thinking about this morning. You know, they're touting him as the first Black Asian coach to get everything. Can you imagine the pressure that's on him because of that? It's like being Jackie Robinson, who, by the way, played in my hometown in Bradner Stadium in minor league baseball, which is pretty cool. And then I got to play football on the same field. But think of the pressure on Marcus right now. You know, it's like the Black community and the Asian community putting so much pressure on him because you're the first. I want him just to relax and coach his game and he's so eloquent when they ask him about it and gives his answers. But you know, inside, he's got to be thinking about that. So just pray for him to be calm and just focus on the game. And what happens, happens. Listen, he's the first one to get to it. That doesn't necessarily mean he's got to win, but he's the first one he's gotten there. And just let him be the coach of Notre Dame. That's enough pressure in itself.
Yeah, it's a big moment, my friend, and I think we're going to be ready for it, and we'll see how it shakes out. Thanks for always calling, and I'll be here after the game, whether it's good or bad. I'm going to be here. I don't know what it's going to be. Oh, my brother, A.K. Kennedy, $20 holler. John has brought the Kennedy's love for Notre Dame football to the masses. The AI family is our family. And the conversations on this show remind me of our entire ND life growing up. Thank you all, and let's get this win. What a really nice message from Andrew. And it means the world to me that he flew from Florida to be in town for this, to be with Senior and my mom and the whole family. Really, really appreciate it, eh? $5 holler from the dong. My nephew is an OSU fan. If we lose, I'm not getting him a Christmas present. If we win, I'm getting him an ND jersey. I think that is more than appropriate. Chaz Ralaz, GTQ, $70 holla. This is the first time I ever send a super chat and couldn't find a better time to do so than today. My grandpa was an ND alum. I'm sure he'll be watching from the Evans. From Guatemala, go Irish. Man, that's a long way away. That means the world to me, man. I don't even know what that GTQ conversion rate is, but it just means the world to me that it means the world to me that you reached out, especially today, man. That's the other thing, you guys. We have our regulars here that all have their little roles they play here in their personality. Look at Mark with glasses. All this content I provide to you for 9 years now, and he comes in here with Andrew's the cooler. Kennedy's definitely the bigger, stronger one, in better shape. I can tell you that. He's 2 years younger, but he's a foot taller and all muscle. And then there's me, Captain Skeletor, in the basement here. 857, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. What's up?
Hi, John. How are you?
I am, man, thanks for asking. I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of convincing myself that if it's meant to be, Notre Dame's going to find a way. Does that make sense? Like I'm starting to find peace. I'm starting to find some peace with that the idea that if we're really going to write the final chapter of this narrative with everything lining up, Lou Holtz is 88 and 88, 100 years since 1924. It's the Freeman stuff with OSU and everything this means. It's just, if it's meant to be, we'll find a way. And I'm finding a little peace in that, if that makes sense.
That makes a ton of sense. I mean, I put a super chat up there talking about how much, excuse me, how much we've overcome even getting to this moment. I mean, there was a moment we thought with Marshall and Stanford and NIU, it's just like, is that who we are? Can we not take care of business?
Yep.
There was a fringe that was talking about, is Riley spending too much time in Bible study, which we never say. But even beyond that, like I mentioned a few of my super chat, I'm not going to repeat, but like, if you think about it, our kicker probably thought for half the season, every time he swung his leg, he could tear something.
Yep.
Like, and he had that in the back of his mind for 2/3 of the season. And now it's Money Mitch. That's insane. Probably our best linebacker in the playoffs against the run, Snead. We thought he might be off the team after Louisville. He doesn't stay out for the alma mater. We still don't know what happened there. But we're like, oh, Mickey just left. Like, is he about to transfer out as well? Like, is he going to be part of it? And now he's a starter. He's getting playing time. He's stopping the run. Yep. We had Christian Gray. We thought he couldn't catch a thing. We thought, oh, he's a decent corner, but like he can't catch. All he does, I don't know what he put on his gloves, but Penn State, USC, all he does is catch everything that comes his way. And so mentally, criticism-wise, injury, obviously, to see all these sort of like mini story arcs and how they've resolved because of the character of the head of this team, obviously, of the coordinators on the team, the players on this team, I think that that's one of the biggest reasons to be proud, because I don't think any team in America has faced and overcome this kind of adversity.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, like Ohio State, Michigan lost, like it's very localized, but like, okay, it's 1 week that the rest of the country wasn't like fawning over you. You lost to Oregon. Everyone thinks that like that was some sort of fluke. It's because Howard slid or whatever. But like for 2 weeks before Tennessee, the country wasn't fawning over you. The greatest show on earth that money can buy. That's not real adversity. There's one team in this game that has been doubted, kind of condescended to the whole year, and it's not Ohio State. It's the blue and gold.
Yeah, man, you look at all of this stuff lining up and you're like, man, there's only one proper final chapter to this narrative. You know, like there's just one, and I don't care what it looks like. It's just finding a way to grind this out and complete the whole 30 for 30 special. Like it is, it's all there for you. And again, I'm going to say, I believe there is freedom in being an underdog. I really do mean that. And I think this specific team and staff will react well to being counted out the way they are by a lot of people. Yeah. And the whole Marcus Freeman getting his third shot at his old mates with everything on the line, man, every narrative is there. You just got to figure out a way, man. Figure out a way.
And more than that, like, why aren't they scared? Like, okay, we're the underdog. Why aren't they scared? I love the caller that talked about this officiating crew calling stuff. Sure, does Gray grab sometimes? Sure. They have the grabbiest corner in maybe Power 5 FBS, and they can know some. They have the grabbiest corner in the league. Their other corner is one of the more overrated, like cornerback, and Burke is one of the more overrated cornerback prospects out there. One of their safeties is fantastic. Downs is great. But like the other one is kind of like a run-stopping specialist more than a pass catcher. All the story has been like, does Notre Dame have to play man? Can Ohio State play man? I know Riley Leonard's not like Andrew Luck, right? Like I know he's not some generational passer, but we have an offensive coordinator that coached up a Heisman. We played great pass defenses with great pressure before. We played a faster set of DNs last week than we're facing this week. We played a bigger defensive line in the Sugar Bowl than we are this week. Yeah. Like, why isn't the Ohio State defense scared? And on the other side of the ball, we have the best secondary in football. I saw on some other channel, I saw an Ohio State analyst say, Leonard can't throw, and Notre Dame's the fourth best defense they're playing in this playoffs. What are you talking about? Man for man, I'll take this Notre Dame secondary against any team in the country. Yeah. Right? Will Howard is not, he's not CJ Stroud. He's not even like some of the other Ohio State quarterbacks of old. Like, he has some oops in him. And if I were them, I'd be kind of scared. But like, fine, you have these Rolls-Royce receivers. You have the best secondary in football, a very ball-happy secondary in football, a very ball-happy secondary, and a quarterback who oops up. I'd be kind of scared. You're playing an offensive line that's the healthiest it's ever been. Charles Jagasaw, like a phoenix, is reborn. Rocco Spindler has the most time off he's had since his first injury. If I'd be scared if I were them, I'd be like, I don't know. This is going to be the best shot from a team we haven't really seen quality-wise our whole season. So I think they're not worried enough, and that's exactly what we want them. They're not worried, and they should be worried.
Yeah, I'm all for the overconfidence, whatever, man. I'm all for it. I just dig into that underdog mentality all you can, and and go roll it out there and give it all you got, and we'll see what happens. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for the chat.
No, I think, I mean, I put this out there, but I think like this whole week, and I don't know why this keeps happening. Like, it's just our defensive ends are too slow. Like we can't, apparently Notre Dame we have Al Golden, is going to leave for the Bengals maybe, but apparently he's never defended a stretch run in his life. And Notre Dame's too slow because all they do is like work hard and have high character, but they can't run fast, which is so outdated. Right. I think our defensive line, our defensive ends, I'm looking at like Oben, Burnham, I'm looking at Bowen in coverage. I mean, these are talented players. People don't realize that this is not even 10 years ago or 12 years ago. This is not even 2012.
Yeah.
These are talented players. They're fast as heck, and the analysts don't get it, but I think they're going to prove it. I mean, I think, and I like that they're counting them out. I like that they're being kind of stereotyped as these kind of, I don't know, lumberers. That's not what this team is. I think they're led by an incredibly competent and smart coaching staff. I think they're incredibly athletic, and people, I guarantee you, so many first-time viewers, whatever the result is, they're going to be fast. As every game has gone so far, they're going to be surprised by how fast and talented this team looks. They beat the champions of the SEC. They beat a very fast and talented team in Penn State. And every time people are so surprised, they're like, "This is Notre Dame." And I think winning it all is going to be the culmination of that.
Man,
people are let's redefine the school.
I like the roadmap you're building, man. Hey, thanks a lot for the donation and for the crystal clear phone line. Go Irish. Really appreciate it. Dr. John, I believe that across country there are gatherings of families like the Kennedys. There's one here in Livingston, friends and two of my daughters. It's a beautiful thing, man. Today's the day to be with your people. God, this is so funny. Marcus Freeman is kind of overhyped. I got to tell you, man, Notre Dame has not won a major bowl game in the last 30 years, and Marcus Freeman won 2 in a 2-week period. I don't know what planet you got lasered in from. I have no idea the framework of which you're measuring this, but try again. Your calibration is off. Marcus Freeman has won more major bowl games in 2 weeks than the entire program and a handful of coaches, especially that clown show, egotistical maniac, narcissistic prick golfer that's down south in the swamps right now. Okay. Day 1K. These ND fans are trying to convince themselves they have equal talent. Every single thing I've said in all my previews is I totally respect their talent and how many great athletes they have. So I don't know what you're talking about. You guys, you just make it all in your head. Whatever, man. Go ahead. Like you guys just see whatever you want to see. You create narratives that aren't real. You're just out of your minds. I don't understand what is wrong with you people. I really don't understand. This is hilarious too. You guys are not smart. For the second time this morning, Dan, that dog has more football intelligence than you have. Wasn't there talk of Freeman being fired last year? Wasn't there talk of your head coach being fired 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. All of you morons wanted to run Ryan Day out of town. You were done with him, and now he's a national hero. Explain it. 3 measly weeks ago, you people wanted to run your head coach out of town, and now he's a hero, and you're talking about Marcus Freeman. It's unbelievable the lack of intelligence you show. Seriously, it is. That dog has more football thoughts than you do. It's unbelievable. It's that statement alone shows how totally disconnected from reality and the lack of self-awareness that fan base largely shows. Not everybody, but largely. Like, how could you be an Ohio State fan and type that in when 3 weeks ago, all of the YouTube and all the articles from the Ohio State side is who else are we going to hire? Get Ryan Day out of here. It's a complete lack of self-awareness, 100%. I just can't understand it. 615, what's up?
Oh, John, how are you today?
I'm wound a little tight.
Yeah, it's definitely understandable. Yeah, man, I've got like wound tight, have a little anxiety right now, but I'm a very analytical person. I'm trying to figure this out because there's so many things, signs pointing towards good things, like,
Yep.
man, you guys blew my mind talking about the rainbow over South Bend. There's several different shows I listen to and people affiliated with Notre Dame, and everyone almost has just this eerie, calm confidence.
Yeah.
It's not arrogance. There's a major difference between arrogance, which we're seeing from a lot of the Ohio State folks, and a quiet, calm confidence. And I'm like, man, is that just, are we going to win this thing? Are we actually going to do this? Or is it just the fact that we all know that the program is headed in the right direction?
Yeah.
It's the first time I think since the 88 championship that we can actually say we see results and building blocks and a bright future.
Yeah. Yeah. It really does feel different, man. And it isn't just like that they're winning games or whatever, but the entire energy and vibe around this program has felt different from Northern Illinois on. Like a switch was flipped. And this Notre Dame team plays with an energy and a vibe that we've been begging for and haven't had for literally 30 years. I can't measure it. I don't have a statistic for it, but I know it when I see it and I know it when I feel it. And this team just is operating at a different little like compete level, and it just feels right. Find a way to get one more, man, and we'll live off it forever.
It's almost call it the miracle on earth. A lot of people aren't giving us a chance, but man, we've seen it time and time again in different sports and different things where your opponent is underestimated and then will be victorious over you. And I think I think Notre Dame's going to pull this off.
Yeah, it is. Man, it's just, it would be the final narrative, man. The best 30 for 30 of all time. All the chapters and the little bookmarks are there. There's just one more script, and you gotta figure this out. Find a way, fight through it. It all feels different. The signs are there. all the little nuances we're all talking about. You just need to find a way, man.
Well, we'll be praying before the game. We'll have a couple candles lit and see this thing off.
Yeah. It's this is going to be a special day, my friend. Hey, thank you very much for calling, and I'll go live after the game, good or bad.
All right, we'll talk to you tonight.
Have a good one, buddy. Oh man, that guy calms me down, man. He's got that little like Tennessee Southern draw thing there, like it kind of calms me down. J per 12. $2 holler. All these trolls giving Johnny money. Go Irish. Listen, I'm just a little surprised. On a day like today, I just want to be with my people, right? All of the people that understand all this on our side and just kind of be with our people. I'm just a little surprised so many Ohio State fans want to do the opposite and just go try and ruin somebody else's morning. Just is there no pro Ohio State stuff that you guys could watch? Like, it's just a little amazing to me. 562, what's going on? Good morning, brother.
Hey, John.
Good morning.
John, how you doing?
I'm wound a little tight, but you should expect that by now.
Yeah. Okay. This is Joe from California.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
I'm calling, put my 2 cents in to invoke the spirit of Coach Frank, because I guess I'm one of the few people left that actually spoke to him and met him.
Oh
It
man.
was in 19, yeah, actually, and since he had the connection with New Rockney because he played for New Rockney, this will span 100 years since the Four Horsemen beat Stanford in the Rose Bowl and were named number 1. So hopefully this will be 100 years later with Coach Freeman. We can do the same thing.
Yeah, man, dude, that means it means my affinity for Frank Leahy, and from my show that Frank is my all-time favorite Notre Dame personality, player, coach, or administrator, anything to do with the school. Frank Leahy is my all-time number 1 Notre Dame man. And for you to call in on a day like this and build that bridge all the way from Frank until now means the world to me, man.
Yeah, I met him in 1960. He was out of coaching by that time because he left, I think, in 54. He was named the general manager of the San Diego Chargers of the AFL, newly formed AFL. And, of course, he was spreading the word at that time about the new league. And he gave a talk at the Sacred Heart Parish in West Covina, California. And since I grew up in Azusa, which is about 5 or 10 minutes away from West Covina, my dad said, let's go listen to Frank and talk to him. And so we did. And after the talk, of course, all he did was talk about the new league and everything. And I shook his hand and said we were Notre Dame fans. Of course, we told him we were from Texas and gave him the whole family story. And he was very pleased.
Yeah.
So I think of that all the time. So, and of course, he always talked about his players as lads.
Yep.
That's right. And so I hope the lads of today will come up with a super effort to take care of Ohio State. So I thought I'd call and put my 2 cents in to have the connection with Frank Leahy.
Man, that means the world to me. Frank is my all-time favorite, Notre Dame guy, and I love him, and I believe he's watching over the team and the program and Marcus, and it's just a special thing, man, in the Notre Dame world with all this stuff connecting. It's really a special thing. Anything else? What do you think about the game?
Well, as far as the game's concerned, I got to give a shout out and give accolades to our quarterback, Riley Leonard, because what that young man has accomplished in 11 months, going through 2 surgeries, not being in spring practice, and not having a full fall camp, and then having to learn the new system, learn the players, and have to interact with them and hurry up and get to know everybody, and then perform on the field as he has done with his ups and downs. Of course, that was expected because he was brand new. And to accomplish all that into a final game for the championship in 1 year, I mean, you got to take your hats off to the young man.
Yeah. It was a special effort and a really rough start in the offseason and a rough start to this season, if we're honest. And it all kind of came together, and there's only one more chapter. Hey, man, it means the world to me that you called in with some of that Frank Leahy stuff. I'm really glad you've become a part of the show.
Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And one last thing, John. For your friend Luis and myself being of the same demographic ethnic group, I have a story for him later on where there's a connection with the Mexican Revolution of 1913 in Notre Dame.
Oh, man.
I'll clue that in. I'll give that as a tease to Luis.
That's interesting. That's right up his alley, man. Hey, thank you, man. God bless you. And let's win one for Frank here. Win one for Frank. Dan's at it again. If this was a baseball game, you're striking out the side, man. Like, not in a good way. You're up to bat and you're striking out. John, you realize that Ryan Day is second in all-time win percentage through 70 games. Why are you asking me that when all of your fans were the ones that wanted the guy fired 3 weeks ago? He's not my coach. Everything you type gets dumber than the one before it. Son of a buck. Why are you telling me that? Your own fans wanted the guy fired less than a month ago. What are you telling me this for? Man. Chicago's very own Tom Frawley. What's going on?
Boy, this is a great show today, John. I must say, the comments by the regulars and the Notre Dame fans are stellar. And then there's the other side, and it's hilarious because I saw some lady on there earlier, Edith Pusey, and she was busting our chops, and it's starting to get nasty. And I got a picture of Edith Pusey, and she makes Edith from All in the Family look like Christy Brinkley. You could see her with the Newport hanging out of the side of her mouth, missing teeth, the Buckeye head behind her, and the jersey on. You know, I mean, my God. They got some nerve to come in here and troll on us, don't they?
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
Tom, I'm just glad. I'm glad we're gonna get a resolution here. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready for it. Whether it's gonna be the best day of my life or a funeral, I'm just ready. At this point, I am worn down to the point with my nerves and anxiety and emotions where I'm just ready to know what it's gonna be, man. I'm just ready to find out.
You know how you get an Ohio State fan off your porch, right? You pay him for the pizza.
Tom, I love you, man.
I'm sorry. You gotta throw jabs where you can because they've been throwing jabs for 2 weeks now on your show.
Yeah.
And you know what? They don't have a sense of humor. At least we can laugh about ourselves. You know, hey, when's the last time Notre Dame won a national championship? 1988. How many times you're going to say that, Sharice Armistead?
Yeah,
How many times are you going to say that?
Yeah, Tom.
You know, Notre Dame is 2-6 against Ohio State lifetime. You haven't beaten them since 1936. Get an original thought, you morons.
It is.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal today. You know what? If I wish I was in the locker room, I really do. I would love to tell the Notre Dame team the story of the 1519 conquistadors that moved to Mexico, the Spanish conquistadors, and the old story of. I love history, and most people that like football like history. The Spaniard Hernan Cortez told his warriors before they landed. He said, "We're going to burn our boats before we land on the shore because there's no coming back. Either we conquer or we perish." And that's the exact kind of attitude this Notre Dame team has to take. This is a very good football team they're playing, granted, but they are not invincible. And I think with the attitude of somebody like Jeremiah Love, I think they're in for a surprise. I really do.
Tom, I like your energy. I like your energy, man. You sound like you woke up ready to do this. I like your energy today, man.
There's no question. I mean, why be a defeatist attitude? And then I don't understand some of our fan base when they're already talking about, well, Marcus Freeman, you know, he's going to leave. What? Don't worry about tomorrow. Hey, our future is tonight. Relax. I heard that on 2 other message boards yesterday, people talking about Marcus Freeman leaving. I mean, it was 12 weeks ago that people wanted him fired. And now you're worried about him leaving, going to the NFL? Get over yourself.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's all this.
God almighty.
All this coaching stuff.
Focused.
I don't have the bandwidth for it. The Al Golden stuff.
I don't either.
I don't have the
focus.
Yeah.
Look what he's done. God almighty. They just worry about all this ancillary stuff that has no bearing on tonight's game. And look where they're going into the spring. This is like it was between 88 and 89. I mean, he's building something here. I wish people could actually just appreciate it, smell the roses, because it has been a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just go in there, enjoy the game. You know what? If worse comes to worse, so be it. You know, they will have gotten beat by a better football team. But I'll tell you what, I think Notre Dame is going to be the better team tonight. And that's all Lou Holtz ever talked about. Just be the best team in the stadium tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to do.
Man,
Go
Tom,
Irish.
I love it.
You guys. We're coming out with a W. I like them 31-27 Irish.
Ooh, Tom, I love you, man. I love you. God bless that, man. 501, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hello?
Hello.
What's up, bro? This is Trinity from Conway, Arkansas.
What's going on? You're live on the air. What's on your mind? Thanks for calling.
I just wanted to say what's up, man. I've been listening to this show for a minute and never called, and excited about the game, and just wanted to share the morning with the Irish folks.
Man, I appreciate it. How are you feeling about this? I'm just ready to see what it's going to be. Let's go get it.
Man, I really do feel like this is one of the best Notre Dame teams I've ever seen. I went to the Stanford game this year for my one game a year I usually travel out for. And, man, Ohio State is good. They have players, but, the spirit of Notre Dame, bro, I believe. And I believe that the players we have on this team, man, are a destiny team.
Yeah, it feels different, man. And the way this team has come together and with the injuries and everything, they have a different mentality. They have a different vibe about them. It all just feels so different. And there's just one more hurdle to immortality. Like it's right there for you, man. It's right there for you.
That's the greatest part, man. I've been waiting for this moment for so long, man. Since I'm 44 years old now, man. I've followed the Irish from Texas. I originally lived there and moved to Arkansas. I took my nephew to games. I took my parents to games. And I try to share the spirit with everybody just to let them know,
Yeah.
And just to have this closeness of a championship, man. I mean, the last two games, just watching two bowl games and actually getting to cheer and watch the game and then go buy the shirts and enjoy the championships, man. I mean, that was just almost unbelievable. And now we could get those two plus the championship, man. I mean, I just don't understand how we could get any better.
Yeah, this is it's a big moment, and it hasn't been an easy journey. Nobody could say it was handed to Notre Dame. They had to earn this the hard way. And the run and each of those playoff games had their own unique challenge and their own unique feel and way that Notre Dame won them. It's just there's one more chapter to be written. And that's
the crazy thing.
Figure it out. Figure out a damn way. Figure out a way.
For real. And that's kind of how I felt with the Georgia. I was like, bro, if we can just finally get over this hump, and then we beat Georgia, and I'm like, I hardly have any time to celebrate because then we're going to play Penn State, and I'm like checking them out, and I'm like, bro, if we can get two, this would be insane, And then we get that, and I'm just thinking to myself, bro, this team looks unstoppable, man. I mean, the offense is beyond. I mean, the defense is the only thing that worries me is having so many defensive linemen out. But, bro, next man in, Notre Dame has proven that. And, to beat Georgia and Penn State with reserves, that's insane, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's been a magical ride. And you kind of almost ask yourself, what is all this for, right? You have all these other chapters of this 30 for 30 and all of the history and all the weird nuance and all the things lining up. And you ask yourself, what is all of this for? You got to finish it off, man. Find a way to finish it off.
For real. Yes, sir. And see, another thing I'd like to bring up, man, is Notre Dame does it right. And I'm so thankful. The last 15 years I go to Notre Dame games and our game day environment, man, it is something beyond anything that anyone else would know, man.
Yeah.
The honor, the code, the way we do things, and to win, doing it in the face of everybody cheating and doing college football as wrong as possible.
Yep.
It is just, I love
Dude,
it, bro.
I'm really glad
just for Notre Dame to come out.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. And it's really something that I've been thinking about is I've been telling some people this, talking about this offline. Man, isn't it about time that the good guys win something in a landscape full of snakes and Brian Kellys and Jimbo Fishers and all these guys that don't treat people the right way and play games to cut corners? Doesn't it just feel like it's about time for the good guys to win something, and a genuine nice person like Marcus that works his ass off and is classy? Like, isn't it just time that the world shows the good guys can win something?
And I can continue with that, man. I mean, when I started with Notre Dame, 2010 is when I finally said, I've never been to a football game. I got to do it, before my life ends. I've got to see what it's like. And I love Brian Kelly. And when he left and Marcus Freeman stayed with us, man, he earned my respect to the end of my life, bro. I love that dude, what he stands for. I mean, I've never seen a better, like you say about Frank, I feel the same thing about Era and Lou. I met Era with my nephew, man. And to me, that was a man's man. And, just to have another Marcus Freeman, another Notre Dame legend, hopefully, man, I can't wait to see the statue. I mean, the guy's, he's perfect for Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? Just perfect.
Yeah. This is it's a special moment, man. You got the right perspective on Notre Dame and why this is special. And let's see if we could get it over the finish line. Thanks for the call today, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
You too, man. I've been listening for a minute, man. I just wanted to say what's up on the last little bit of the year, man. But
this is
Go Irish, bro. We will win. We will beat Ohio State. We will be champions, bro.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you. Always Irish senior. Show up, play smart football, kick ass, go Irish. Dad, you're right on that one. I got to admit, I'm a little disturbed. I got multiple people that reached out to me, and they could not believe the amount of Ohio State people sitting in a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in sweatpants and hoodies. Multiple people reached out to me like, these people don't have no class. Would it kill you to take a shower and put on a jacket for a night? Unbelievable. Multiple people told me, I can't believe these people go out in public this way. You got sweatpants on at a steakhouse. Pull yourself together and have a little class. Have a little class. Dr. John, my final quote. What though the odds be great or small? Old Notre Dame will win overall. I feel like I've heard that before somewhere. James, I'm sorry. Tell your people to clean up a little bit when they go out in the town, man. Is that much to ask? You go to a classy steakhouse and you're wearing sweatpants? Pull yourself together. Have some class. Or if you don't have any class, at least fake it when you're at something special for one night. Can you fake it? You can't even do that? Unbelievable. 270. What do you know? 270. What do you know? I want you to be on the show. James says, I will, John. I actually agree. James is going to clean up to party tonight if Ohio State wins. He's gonna be looking good. A bright red blazer or something. Oh, man, this is good. I don't know what happened to you, man. I tried to put you on, but it didn't work out. 864, what's going on?
John, you got me?
I got you.
Great. I tried the other night and couldn't connect.
Well,
I actually worked for like 26 years in. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope. Yeah, I'm glad I got you today, man.
Yeah, me too. First time caller. Been listening for a minute, like the last guy said. Am I mumbling any? Loud and clear.
Yep. Nope. You're good, man. I got you.
Great. Yeah. Okay. I'm near 70 now, and I got a lot of stories like other people. But one of them is 2013. Was in a parking lot in Jerry's World in Dallas, of the Shamrock Series, tailgating, and had a heart attack right in the tailgating.
Oh my God!
So after I was, I know, and I was, I caught you about 2 years ago, and you have that opening on your show. You said I almost stroked out and died over it. I thought, this must be my guy right here. Anyway,
I don't mean to laugh at your
So,
I don't mean to laugh at your serious medical issues, but it's just it all comes full circle. I just hope if it happens to me, I want it to be on the air. At least I could get some ratings on the way out. I'm telling you, I mean it. If it's gonna happen to me, I want it live on the air, yelling at some other fan base, just so I could get some numbers on the way out. I mean it.
all right. So that was 2013, and so obviously I missed the game. So I said, well, I got to get back there to Jerry's World. It's on my bucket list. 2018 against Clemson.
Yeah.
That was a butt kicking.
Yeah, go ahead. You might prefer to have another heart attack after sitting through that one.
Yeah. Afterwards, Brian Kelly saying, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. We didn't do so bad in that game."
Yeah, of course.
What game were you at?
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of felt like Pat.
Yeah.
Every big game I went to, it seemed like it was a loss, and I went to Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma State and was lost. And finally, I got to go down to New Orleans at the Sugar Bowl. And I'm telling you, I mean, that you talk about cathartic, that was it's unreal. I met a guy there, talked to him, he said he was from Wichita, and it was a Christmas present for to get to go for his first game. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man.
The narrative after
it's special.
Yeah, the narrative after that game was just great. I mean, everybody was saying, "This is it. We finally have got over that hump." Versus, the talk after the Ohio State game. Just to close, I want to thank you for that show after the Ohio State game because, in all honesty, I was like the students ready to rush the field. They say they were pushing down, ready to hit the field. I was sitting here watching it, and tears were streaming down my eyes. I said, "Man, we've got this. We beat Ohio State. I can't believe it." And then, well, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for that, and go Irish.
Hey, thank you very much, man. I'm glad we connected, and I wish you no heart attacks this evening, unless it's for a good reason. It's a little different if the guy's whole life dream is to watch Notre Dame win again and we win one, and then that's it. What a way to go. What a way to go, man. Terry Tyler, tracksuit at the Texas Roadhouse. I'm telling you guys this. With the inflation of the price of garbage fast food, like name your regular chains, with the inflation of the price of that garbage food and the quality of that food going down as more preservatives are pumped into it instead of real flavor and all this stuff, man. I'm telling you guys this. I'm starting to think Texas Roadhouse is, for a family, that might be for the money you pay and the food you get, the amount of food you get and how good it is. I'm telling you, Texas Roadhouse is moving up my list of like, bro, the way fast food is so expensive, dude, you could get a family platter meal over at Roadhouse and be full and have like good steak and baked potatoes and all this stuff and have food for the next day. I'm telling you, man. That cinnamon butter on them buns. Ooh, Johnny likes him some cinnamon on them buns, girl. I'm telling you, man, that stuff is so good. It is so good, man. And they got the senior citizen special. I think if you get it before 5 or 6 o'clock or something, you get like a discount. Oh man, I like it. That place is moving up my rankings. I'm telling you, it truly, truly is. 719, you're on the line. What's going on?
Hey, John, had a thought, but then you brought something up to me. I know you're complaining about the sweatpants, but that's their nice clothes. That's their going out clothes.
I guess you're right. So maybe they did think they were dressing up, and I didn't.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones without stains and holes. Those are the nice ones.
Man, I didn't even really consider that was what's going on here. Thank you for making me look at it a different way.
Yeah, you got too high of a bar, man. You got to understand the bar gets lowered. It's okay.
I appreciate that.
I just have to say that I've not had a chance to call in all these games, and I've been trying to call in since USC and with work. This team is different.
Yeah.
That's why they're going to win. And after that USC game, I told my brother, we're both lifelong Notre Dame fans. He lives in California. I live in Colorado. We don't get to be together for games. We're always texting each other or talking on the phone. And this team's different. That's why. And they can put up all the numbers about 5 stars and 3 stars and this and that. I don't care how many stars, because how many 3 stars have we turned into 5 stars under Marcus?
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm with you on how you feel. I spoke about it earlier. I can't measure it. I don't have a statistic. I don't have an equation, but it all just feels so different. And the reality is, you're going to find out tonight the ultimate of just how different it is. I believe they're different. We're going to find out just how different they are. And it's either going to be, man, this team pulled it off through all the injuries, made 3 stars play like 5s, and won the championship, and we live off it forever. Or you're going to figure out you did a really good job at Ohio State, built this powerhouse team with frontline talent, and they're healthier, and you just couldn't keep up. And it shows you Notre Dame's moving up, but they're just not quite at that level yet. Like, it's going to be one way or the other, man. One way or the other.
Absolutely. And it's been a special season. It's been from the low in the beginning after the NIU game to just powering through stuff. And for me personally, my daughter getting into Notre Dame, she's only 10. But I tell you what, like, she's watched nearly every game that I've been able to sit down and watch with me. And those are the kind of things that I think the tradition that we have, passing that along to like next generations. And it's different.
Yeah.
I've had to watch some of these games in different aspects. Like, I work nights, so like sometimes I'm having to listen on the way to work and, stressing and then having things going on at time, as I'm watching the game on my phone and stuff. And it's every time it's just different. And years and years, and I understand all of our anxieties of, but remember, and I know, but I mean, I get it, but I have not felt that this year, because again, they're just different. Marcus Freeman has finally gathered what he's wanted. Like, he's been restoring a car, and we can't see it for the you can't see the like forest for the trees. He's brought this old, like rusted wreck, and we're like, that thing's never going to run again. There's no way. And every year, well, yeah, I mean, I guess he got the engine right. It still looks bad. It's all dented. It's a process, like you've said from the beginning, and he's done it correctly. And it takes time. You can't just come in and look at the teams that have tried to do that. Look at the Texas A&Ms who spent millions of oil money and bringing every 5-star they can in and this and that. That's just not the way that you can do it.
Yeah.
It's not a way to do it. You can maybe try them, but in this day and age of NIL and transfer portal and people leaving and being able to move as many times as they want, that doesn't work anymore. You can't hoard the wealth.
Yeah. I think what I think is most impressive about this year is, I genuinely mean this, Freeman has been able to do what no coach has done in 30 years. Get the collective group of guys to play better on the field in a big game than it looks like the collection of talent should do on paper. That is the sign of a coach that's got the right vibe and got the guys believing, and the messaging is right and the player leadership is right. That's how I look at that. When you're able, how many of these big game moments have we asked, how come Notre Dame never plays like a good game on the big stage and plays better than the collection of group, like self-actualization of the talent you have, where they play better on the field and it looks like they should play on paper when you look at the injuries and this and that and the star rankings and all that. Marcus Freeman has been able to find a level there that no Notre Dame coach has found in 30 years. That, to me, is really special. And there's not a calculation. There's not a statistic. It's not in the PFF stuff online. That is just a feel thing. And Marcus Freeman has that feel around this program again. And whether it's tonight or moving forward, I think it's going to pay off big.
Absolutely. It's going to be wonderful. I'm going to be at work cheering them on. I love you guys. I love you and
dude, wait, time out. how in the hell are you going to be at work when this game is? How are you going to handle this? How are you going to deal with
can't help
this?
it, man. I work in health. I work in healthcare. I can't call off. Like, that's my problem.
No.
worked
You
any
need to
other
be
job,
no.
I'd
You
call in
need
sick.
you need to call timeout on that surgery for about 4 hours. That guy, tell him to wait. Tell him somebody's bleeding out in the waiting room. Hold on, after the game.
Right. And of course, it's supposed to be like -5 here in Colorado tonight. And of course, you know what I mean? It's just, it never fails. But you know what? That's adversity. That's how it is. That's how Notre Dame's done it all year. And I'm going to follow Marcus's lead. And that's how it is. You know, you just put your head down.
God bless you, man. I hope your work's not too bad and you could keep up with the game, man. Hey, thanks a lot for the call. I appreciate you. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one, man. Oh, boy. All right, folks. That's going to do it for the morning show. I got a bunch of other pregame stuff I've got to get going and get up. And I am going to set up. I'm going to set up the post-game show. People want to be able to chat during the game. I'm going to set up the post-game show in the next hour or two and have it up. So you guys will be able to chat during the game. OJ Carr, I'm just going to be pacing around all day. And how do you think I stay so skinny? And we're going to, we'll let you guys be able to do the chat during the game. And then I'm going to go live. It's either going to be really rough or it's going to be the best night of our lives. Like my football life for sure. This would be the biggest moment of my Notre Dame football life, man. 40 years of living. I don't remember anything from when we were young and good. I don't remember 88 when I was 4. Vaguely remember 93 being under 10. This would be the pinnacle for me, and it would be the ultimate payoff for doing this show all these years, through all the misery, all the frustration, all the shame, all the embarrassment, all of the mockery, all of the ridicule, all of the non-belief, all the anti-Catholic stuff. If you get this game, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Wells Lamont, player of the game, $2 holler. Today we shocked the world, 15-1 national champs. God bless you guys. I love this show. I love you guys. And be with your people today. And we'll see after the game. And I have no idea how it's going to go, man. Take care of yourselves till then.